Adjunct Professor Moran, Microeconomics 112. Here we're going to calculate and graph total costs and average costs. It's these average costs we've really been trying to get to, and that's because these are going to be partly determining how much quantity a firm will produce, if it produces at all. Alright, so you should be able to calculate, now that this has calculated most of these numbers for you, but you should be able to calculate all of these quantities yourself. Total fixed cost does not change with changes in output. So total fixed cost at 300 is 500, and total fixed cost at 400 is also 500. It's constant, regardless of output. Total variable cost increases with increases in output. So at 100 output, $700 of variable cost. At 200 units of output, there's $1,300 of variable cost. Now there are two ways of getting, one way of getting your variable cost is to take your total cost and subtract your fixed cost, because fixed cost plus variable cost has to equal total cost. So this would be $1,800. You can also take your average variable cost of $6 and multiply it by the quantity of output to get total variable cost. Because average, of course, is the opposite. You take total variable, 18, divided by 300, and you get your average variable cost. You should be able to manipulate the numbers both ways. Total cost, again, can be taken 725 times 400, or you can just add up fixed and variable. So that's 2,900. We've missed total cost at 200, which is 500 plus 1,300, which is 1,800. Or it's total average cost times quantity of output. What's total variable cost at 600 units? It's 43.20 minus 500, or it's $6.37 times 600, and that would be 38.20. So now we can go ahead and your marginal cost is your change from each between. Notice your average is going to all come from one line, but your margins are going to come from two lines. That's what these carets are trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you to subtract out. So from 0 output to 100 output, our total cost increased from 500 to 1,200, which is you have to divide it by the change. It's the change in total cost divided by the change in output. So that's 700 divided by 100 is $7. Increase in total cost to 200 units of output is a change of 600 divided by a change of 100, $6. 500 divided by 100, $5. 600 divided by 100, $6. 700 divided by a change of input of 100, $7. Total cost rises to 43.20 divided by an increase of 100, $7.20. 880. Your average fixed cost, you take your total fixed cost and divide it by 100. 200 divided by 1,800. 2,300 divided by 300. 2,900 divided by 400. You can see, although fixed cost is constant in total, on an average basis it declines as the fixed cost is spread over more units. Your average variable cost, you take total variable cost divided by your quantity. 700 divided by 100, 1,300 divided by 200, 650, 1,800 divided by 3, $6, and so on. At first it declines, and then it starts rising because of the principle of diminishing marginal returns. You're experiencing increasing marginal returns here, and then diminishing and eventually negative marginal returns here, causing your average variable cost to rise. Okay, your total cost can be found by adding your average fixed and average variable, or you can take total and divide it by quantity. So 767, 620, or 3,600 divided by 500. Now we can graph these numbers. We're going to graph the totals here, and we're going to graph the averages on a different graph. There's your total fixed cost. It doesn't change, it changes in output. Okay. Your total cost at zero output is 500. At 100, your total cost has risen to 1200. At 200, it's 1800. 300, 2300. 400, 2900. 500, 3600. 600, 4320. 700 is 5200. Okay, your variable costs are no variable costs at no units of output. At 100, you have 700, 200, 1300, 300 is 1800, 400, 2400, 500 is 31, 3820, and at 700, 4720. The difference between these lines will be your total fixed cost. If this is total cost and this is variable cost, then this will be your fixed cost between them. This spread will always be $500. They're parallel lines. Okay, so these are totals. These don't really help us make production decisions because you can't compare total to price, whereas you can with average costs. And that's what we're going to graph in our next video.